Hello friends, this is DMC and this is a quick recap of a product I bought a year ago, and now that I've been using it for a year I thought I'd give it another quick review and give the main pros and cons of using this machine. It's the Delonghi ecc221. My quick thoughts on this are that it's a pretty good coffee maker. It makes good coffee as long as you know what you're doing with the machine, because you can over tamper the filters sometimes and it restricts the flow of liquid coming through the machine. I just made a coffee before I've done this review, and I underfilled the double espresso filter. I underfilled it, and that actually caused the machine to restrict the flow of water coming through it for some reason. I don't know why. Strangely, if you buy espresso coffee and it's quite finely ground, that's another reason for the water to be restricted coming through the coffee. But overall, it makes a good coffee all the time. Although I did have a paper filter coffee maker before this one, and the taste that it produces is a completely different taste from that one. The major downside with this one is the steamer. The steamer nozzle is very short, so it doesn't really reach down far into the milk when you're frothing the coffee, and as well it's a bit hit and miss with the amount of steam it produces. I'll do a quick demonstration in a minute, and I'll try and demonstrate what I mean by this. I'll just switch the machine on now. There we go, that's switched on. The on switch is just on the side here. Right, the control panel is pretty simple to follow. It's right for coffee and left for steam. The symbols on the dial seem to have worn away a little bit. This also uses ESE coffee pods, which I have not used with the machine so far. I just don't see the point in buying coffee pods. They seem like a total rip-off to me. The biggest rip-off since bottled water, I think. Right, so we've got the green light, and I'll switch the coffee maker on now. It is quite a noisy process. And it does seem to be coming out quite regularly this time, the coffee. The only other thing I'd mention about it is that the crema is quite a bubbly crema with this one. So it doesn't make much difference to me, to be honest with you. I'm not a connoisseur of coffee, so it doesn't really matter to me. The other good point about this machine is I think it's quite cheap. It was around about £100 mark when I got it a year ago, so it must have gone down in price since then. So it's quite a cheap coffee maker. The other thing to point out is the water filter on the back is removable, which I don't do. I prefer to fill the container using a jug or a kettle. It just seems a bit easier doing it that way rather than disconnecting the jug from the back and reconnecting it. So I'll just switch that off now, and I'll switch it to steam, and I'll just demonstrate what I meant by the flow of steam that seems to come out of the machine. I'll just put a tea towel there just to save the table from being destroyed, and we wait for the green light to come on. And the nozzle is up at the top here. This is the steam nozzle to regulate the amount of steam. Now the first lot of steam that you get with this machine, you're meant to purge it out anyway, because there is quite a lot of water inside the steam. As you can see, it's dripping a little bit of water at the moment. So we'll just give it some steam now and purge the water out of it. Now, as you can see there, that flow of steam is not really very powerful, and like I say, it is a little bit hit and miss with this machine where the steam is concerned. It does get the milk quite hot quickly, but it just doesn't froth the milk very well. So I'll just purge the rest of this until the light goes off. See, there's not much steam coming through now. So the light's gone off, and when the light comes back on, the pressure of the steam should be up again. So I'm just going to use a cup with a little bit of milk in it to make the steam, to make the frothy milk. There's my cup there. So we've got the green light back on now, and I'll just tilt the cup and not totally submerging the bell on the end. I'm just putting it slightly below the surface, and I'll turn on the steam now. And the light's gone off again, so I'll just test the heat of this, and it's not quite. I usually get it so that the milk is just uncomfortable to touch, and it's not quite there yet. It's still semi-warm, so we give it another quick blast, and as you can see, it does start overflowing. So you have to regulate the amount of steam by the dial on the top, not quite giving it full power. And there we go. Yeah, that's slightly uncomfortable to touch. I'll just find my spoon, give me cup a quick stir. And then we'll add the milk, just give it a quick tap to get the major big bubbles out. And as you can see, it's still quite liquidy. I was hoping for better results than that then, but as you can see, because that bell doesn't quite go far enough into the milk, you don't really get froth all the way. The majority of it is hot milk, and then you get a bit of froth on the top. So there's my cup, and another good point with this machine is it's quite easy to clean, so all it needs is a quick wipe over and that's it done. Yeah, it's as I say, definitely if you're looking for a cheap espresso maker, I'm not saying there isn't better ones around, there definitely is better ones around, but for the price of this one, it's definitely a good option to go for. And that was my quick 1 year on review of the Delonghi ecc221. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.